What's up guys, it's Jake and I'm here at Painful Pleasures again with the first impressions, but today we're gonna be talking about Pound of Flesh's new skin tone lines. This is absolutely incredible. For me, I wish when I was younger and starting to tattoo, we would have had this type of product available to practice on, but I'm glad that it's here now so that it's available to everybody. And they have so many different options for tones for you to practice with, which I think is great for people who are maybe just starting out, or maybe an artist who wants to try something that they're not comfortable with. I think it's good for everybody in this industry to be able to use. So in my opinion, they are revolutionizing the way that we are able to practice tattooing and our art on the side, even if we're not tattooing in real skin. Most of my first tattoos were on darker skin as opposed to like lighter skin. So it was just kind of something I was thrown into right off the bat. But like somebody who might not be in that type of area, you know, like where you just see as much diversity, might not have the chance to like work with a darker skin tone and then get somebody who has a darker skin tone and not be as prepared because of that. So this is, I think, really good for that. And I think it's definitely like a step in the right direction as far as like people being able to practice. I think that's very important. I think it's important to have the different values because different colors are gonna show in different values of skin. So like, let's just say like a light blue is gonna show differently in different tone of skin. It's good to be able to see how it reacts and then be able to take that knowledge and apply it to actual skins. Because we didn't really have that when I started tattooing. Like we didn't have like a source of just like practicing, like you just blast it on somebody and said, fuck it, you know, like I learned something or I didn't learn something. So this is great. Just like I said, your appointment cancels, you're sitting there, you got nothing to do. You could learn something new on this, you know what I'm saying? In a matter of a couple hours, just laying something down that maybe you wouldn't feel comfortable trying on somebody. Then you get that notion, that boost of confidence to see it there and be like, well, I could have done that on skin. So that's also good. It's good for a confidence boost. It's good just for relative practice, and it's good for like theory of color and what values work on what skin tones. I think it's real important. So what I'd like to do is maybe check out some different designs that have been done on these, and we're gonna talk about how they look versus different skin tones, and we're gonna get right into that. So here we have 4 different values and tones of skin that were all done by Amber Ramirez, the same design on all 4 different tones. And as you can see, you are gonna see differences in the pigment and how it reacts to different tones. This is why this is so important. So if you're able to practice some of these values off skin, you're able to apply that knowledge on skin. So that's why that makes that so important. So you can go ahead and take a look. If we're looking at some of the lighter values of skin, you can see how some of these really bright colors, they are very true. They stand out really well. And as you kind of get into the darker pigment, it gets a little bit harder to get that smooth pigmentation. They're not as bright as they would be. That's also very true to the way it would work in skin. One thing I'd like to note is some of these tones and some of the darker values of skin, they may work on the Pound of Flesh, but they might not necessarily work for somebody who has a very dark tone of skin. So some of the really bright yellows, some of the light greens, but it is still really good to practice and see what your limitations are with different skin tones. I think these are very impressive. I really like the way that Amber was able to recreate the same design 4 different times in a very consistent way, because it shows you which colors and which tones work really well with different values of skin. So there's a lot to be learned here, and I think that's important. So I think if you ever get the chance to, grab yourself a set and try each skin tone set and see which one does what, and kind of add to your arsenal of thought and your creativity on what you can and can't use on different values of skin.